UFC 290. We got Alexander Volkanovski taking on Yair Rodriguez for the undisputed featherweight strap, where Alexander's going back down to 45 to defend his belt against Yair, who recently won interim gold against Josh Emmett back in February via second round triangle choke submission. The same night where Volkanovski went up in weight to challenge Islam Makhachev for 155 gold to try and become double champ. A fight that he lost an extremely close decision, a fight that I thought that he personally won if it wasn't a draw. Fight was close, but I thought when it came to the argument of control versus damage, I thought Volkanovski laid on the damage. He almost finished the fight at the end of the fight. But yes, Makhachev had a lot of control time. There was that, but when it comes down to it, if you really want to score a fight, you go for the damage, not the control time. And I thought Volk went out there and put on more damage than Islam laid on him, right? But he lost the fight. And I think here down, no matter what, this fight against Yair Rodriguez, I want to make it a point that I think that no matter what, win or lose, this is the last fight for Volkanovski at featherweight. I think he's kind of in a similar position where Stylebender is at 185, where he separated himself from the division. He separated himself from Max Holloway. Max Holloway himself has already separated himself from that division. So it just shows the position, the dominance that Volkanovski has laid out at 145. So I think it makes perfect sense, win or lose, for him to go up to 55, a whole new set of challenges. Volk's still young. He's still in his physical prime. I think that his body set, his fighting style is perfect for him to find success at 55. He already showed it against Islam, who was already looking like the boogeyman, the champ at lightweight. So I think no matter what, Volk's going to be moving up here. But I think this begs the huge question down here at 145 in this matchup at UFC 290. Does Yair Rodriguez even stand a chance against Volk? I think the answer is yes. And here's why. You have Yair, who has had a very up and down career within the UFC, and not by wins or losses per se. I just have to say, like, his relationship with the UFC. Because Yair has only lost twice, that one fight to Frankie Edgar way back in 2017, where it really put a chink in his confidence. You really just didn't see Yair for a few years. I mean, he took about a year and a half off before he fought the Korean Zombie. And then in that fight against the Korean Zombie, he was losing every second of that fight until he landed that weird upwards, backwards elbow in the last second of the last round in one of the most spectacular, crazy, dynamic knockouts I've ever seen. And they followed that up with a no contest with Jeremy Stephens, and then the rematch with Jeremy Stephens, where he dominated the first two rounds, but in the third round, we saw Jeremy find a lot of success. And then you didn't see him fight for 2 years. Came back against Max Holloway and looked better than ever, right? A fight that he lost, but he stood toe-to-toe with Max and had a very, very close decision in that fight, lost a close decision in that fight, but showed that he took that time off, worked on himself, worked on his game, showed that he really didn't have a lot of ring rust, followed that up with a really weird performance against Brian Ortega, where Ortega's shoulder kind of went out and the fight was over there. So we really never got to see a full fight with them. But he followed it up, man. That last performance against Josh Emmett, where he got dropped in the first round, but he was able to follow that up, dig deep, go into autopilot. He even said he went into autopilot in that fight and was just able to be his dynamic self. His body work, his kicks to the body, and then his slick submission skills. I mean, he's so known for his striking abilities. People forget how good his jiu-jitsu is, especially off of his back. And all the time that he's taken after that Frankie Edgar loss back in 2017, it's been 6 years. So he's gone out there, he's worked on his ground game, he's worked on his jiu-jitsu, he's worked on his wrestling defense, and he's become an all-around fighter. And the Yair Rodriguez that we have right now, I think is dangerous as ever, right there with Max Holloway. And he is so dynamic, so explosive, has such a big tool set that he can really hit Volkanovski with some crazy, unpredictable shit, a flying knee, spinning wheel kick, spinning back fist, spinning elbow. I mean, there's all these different things that can come from Yair Rodriguez, and that's just from the feet. And in that last fight against Josh Emmett, he showed that he could dig deep. He's got the heart, he's got the chin, the determination to go out there and get the victory at any means necessary, just like Volkanovski. But we've seen with Volk, he said, tapping is not an option. He's going to have to go to sleep. You're going to have to put me out. Like, it's either I go out or you're breaking his arm. Like he doesn't tap. That's his mentality. And that is what's made him so good and how he's been able to separate himself from the other 45ers. But going against a fresh fighter, fresh blood, someone super dangerous like Yair Rodriguez, I think Yair definitely has a good chance at beating Volk. But Volk is that fucking good, man. And that just shows how good I think Yair is. And I think we're primed for a phenomenal matchup. I don't think it's going to go the distance. I don't think it's going to go 5 rounds, maybe 2, maybe 3 rounds. But personally, man, I don't... As a betting man, I got Volkanovski, but I don't count Yair Rodriguez out of this fight. I really don't. I think he really has more than a puncher's chance, more than a kicker's chance to get the victory and to get undisputed gold here at UFC 290. But I think no matter what with Volkanovski, I think he's kind of in a position with nothing to lose, because I think no matter what happens, he's going up to 155. That's just my personal thoughts. Guys, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Do you guys think this is Yair Rodriguez's time? Is this the last that we see Volk at 145? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on what my take was here. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys, to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.